All right, so now we're live. All right, what's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. No, I was just still seeing the intro. All right, so we're gonna just jump into this thing. This is a live podcast, people. And this is what happens when things go live. You know what I mean? Thanks for tuning in to the Matt Raymond Show. We have a fantastic guest today, people. We got Jimmy Christensen in the building. He's a big time podcaster, not like me. You know what I mean? He's big time. Look at him. He's holding up a 2-piece size. You know what I mean? I can only hold up one because I'm not at his level. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about some Green Bay Packers and all type of stuff today. And a big shout out to the sponsors of this show. I wouldn't say a fantastic show, but it's a mediocre show. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Quick Trip being a fantastic sponsor. They got the chicken, baby. Go get yourself some chicken. They got some deals coming up in here in March, you know what I mean? And they got a lot of good stuff going on at Quick Trip. So head on over there and check out Quick Trip. I have I don't think I can talk about it yet, but I got some special stuff brewing over here with Quick Trip over here. You know what I mean? And also a fantastic sponsor, Nicolay Law. You know what I mean? You get injured, things ain't going well for you right now. You know what I mean? Don't worry, Nicolay Law's got you covered. They're gonna deal with the insurance companies, get you what you do if you're missing work, things ain't going well for you. You know what I mean? And also, they have the Midwest Legends podcast. Ryan Rubel, the most current guest, and they had Mason Crosby was on that thing. You know what I mean? A lot of great guests. Go check out Midwest Legends podcast. Shout out to Nicolay Law being a fantastic sponsor. Let's bring in the guests of the show today. We got Jimmy Christensen. What's up, Jimmy? How you doing? You know what I mean? How you doing, Jimmy?
I have not been on in far too long, and I forgot how hype you get for me, and it no one else does that. Usually
I get excited, Jimmy. You know what I mean? I shouldn't get excited. You're a great guest.
I appreciate it. I'm not going to agree with you, but I'll definitely appreciate it. I'll take the compliments.
You know, Pack-A-Day Podcast, the best podcast in the land for the Packers fans, right? Most knowledgeable Packers podcast. But still, you're on that thing. You know what I mean? I think that deserves a little bit of credit.
Yeah. Everyone makes mistakes. Andy's not immune. He brought me on. I appreciate it.
So let me ask you about this stuff. You know what I mean? Before we get into all this Packers talk, whatever, we've talked about it before, but now we got the cool graphics coming up over here. Lombardi's Bar, Pack-A-Day. You're doing all types of cool stuff. Tell everyone what it's like. I'm going to throw some comments up here as you talk, so don't get distracted, all right? But tell us about, Lombardi's Bar and, everything that you're doing. Good content for the Packers fans. Unlike
at times. Hop on and do Lombardi's Bar. It's a little, it's not kid friendly. I'll put it that way. Bar is in the name, so it's for adults. And then Pack-A-Day is I'm on the Friday episodes with Aaron and Jen, and then the Sunday episodes with Nick. During the off season, we make up the topics right before we start, and then during the regular season, we're hitting on like the X Factors, game day preview, all that stuff. So it's good. It's fun. Keeps me busy. Gives me some hobbies to do outside of just hanging out with the wife and kids all the time. As much as I love them, sometimes need a little bit of break from a 7, 4, and 2-year-old.
And I think they want a break from you too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
They told me. You know what I mean? No, but so you talked about that. Like during the off season, it's tough because since the Super Bowl, I kind of chilled out. You know what I mean? I was kind of like, I was watching Game of Thrones, like this, that new one they got, that seventh, whatever, that goofy guy. You know what I mean? Do you watch Game of Thrones?
I've watched Game of Thrones. I haven't watched any of the spinoffs.
Yeah. I've been watching spinoffs. I don't remember that last one, but it's funny. Anyways, which is not normal for Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
They're not known as being funny. But anyways, that's what I've been kind of doing. So how do you you talked about like you guys just come up with topics before the show? Because I was trying. I asked Facebook. We're gonna get into the Facebook comments, but like I asked Facebook, like, hey, what's some topics and questions you guys want to talk about? The off season, no one cares. You know what I mean? The offseason, people are like, if you leave Wisconsin, or like if you live in Wisconsin and you divorce your wife, is she still your sister? Those are the type of questions out there. Because people from Illinois, they're thinking about moving. You know what I mean? They're like, I just want to know the laws. Is it like Alabama where my grandpa's from? You know what I mean? They're really fucked. But like, how do you guys think of those topics? Because Erin's smart.
Yeah.
She thinks of ideas. So, like, is she the one?
I rely heavy on her. Yeah, she is. Her and Jen both come up with things. And for that one, I like it. I don't mind that one because I'm the host, so like I don't have to talk as much. I just say dumb things here and there. And then the Sunday one is just me and Nick, and it's just two idiots trying to think of any topic.
No, because you're smart. Like you guys talk about real stuff. You probably talk about Elton Jenkins.
Dude, we're all in off-season mode, man. I like right now, like you said, it's the boring part of the season. Like it's building up. It's getting a little more exciting now. Moves are happening, but it's after the Super Bowl until you get to the combine time. Can't talk. It's a little boring. Then you get the draft. It's exciting again, and then there's that like May, June period where you're like, what do I do? What do I talk about? What can I make? What can I make up right now for a 30-minute podcast? I have no tips other than lie if you have to. Make up stories.
And then have Jimmy Christensen on the episode because I didn't know what to talk about. I want to get to a few comments over here, Jimmy. Take a drink. We got Kevin over here since February 2026. Life sucked. Time for fun. You know what I mean? Hashtag mental health. Yeah, we're getting back after it. You know what I mean? Because you know, the thing is like I don't really care. I think we got the wrong screen over here, but I don't really care. Like halfway, like through like the through the off season, like all the stuff. Like I see people like the smart people, Andy Herman. All the people are Bukowski's out there, Nagler. They're hammering away at like all the off season. Like this could happen, that could happen. You know, I don't care. Like I'm just like the average fan, which is funny to me because like I get so many. Like I had someone today who was like hammering at me, like you should have some respect. You like like acting like I was like a media person. Like, dude, I work at a cheese factory, dude. I am not like I'm just a fan, and I'm not even that good of a fan. Like I'm kind of I'm not a good fan, but I'm not the smartest fan. You know what I mean? Like so, like
I think it's even harder for the Packers though because they are known and they do an incredible job of just keeping everything hush hush.
Oh,
like
do.
There's
what
nothing
do you think happened
out
with Bisaccia?
I think you realize like, hey, if I ever want to maybe get back to head coach sometime, or maybe he wanted a little bit more control because he went and just was now he's at Clemson, right? Special teams coordinator there.
The same thing, special teams.
I think maybe just some control, and then he just realized, like Justice Mosqueda says it all the time. The Packers just don't care about special teams. Like their good special teams is don't mess up, and as long as you're not messing up, it's honestly a pretty good season for the Packers special teams. We're just don't fumble penalties, blocks. It's just like, dude, just don't screw it up, and we're good.
Dude, I want to get into this comment from Phil over here. Let's for people listening on the podcast. Phil says, "I don't care. Currently on the side of the road with a flat tire, but here I am." He is watching this thing on YouTube, and he's on the side of the road with a flat tire. Are you serious?
I respect
you have any advice for anyone with a flat tire there, Jimmy? This is where we're at the off season.
Knowing your audience, I'm not sure if his car has a flat tire or he just pulled over and is having the beer flat tire. Just getting a little mid-drive beer in, pulling over.
Yeah, or maybe he just said that because he's gonna sign off and he doesn't. He's just trying to be nice.
Yeah, he's like, "See you guys. This show sucks. I'm gonna fake a flat tire."
Shout out to Packer Driven over. He said, "Howdy, fantastic page on Facebook." You know what I mean? There's not a lot of good Packers pages on Facebook. You know what I mean? Mine included, but Packers Driven does a great job over there. You know what I mean? But here we go. We got the Ricks checking in. All right, we're going to scroll through some of these comments because we're getting way behind. But so let me ask you about this. Let's talk about the Green Bay Packers football. You know what I mean? Because I haven't talked a lot about it since the since the Super Bowl, whatever. So a lot of things might happen. That's the whole thing with the offseason. That's a whole lot of things might happen. Everyone's worried about the salary cap. I see Bears fans are very concerned about the Packers salary cap. You know what I mean? They're always talking to me about it. Bears fans talk to me more about the Packers than Packers fans do.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? They're very concerned about the salary cap. So you're a smart guy. At least you've been around smart people. So I'm going to treat you like a smart person today, Jimmy. All right? I'm going to pretend you're Andy Herman because he didn't want to come on my podcast. I'm just kidding. I didn't ask him. I should ask him at some point this offseason. You know what I mean? It's good to have smart people around. But Jimmy, so what do you think is? So let's start off. Rashawn Gary.
Yeah.
Do you think Rashawn Gary is going to be a Green Bay Packer come next season? These are the questions, people. You know what I mean? Shout out to Warm Kids Wisconsin over here in the chat over there.
Yeah.
Go ahead and donate over there and help some kids. But Jimmy, what do you think?
Shout out Warm Kids. I would say logically the answer should be no. Just with the amount of money that he's getting, the cap that you could save. And it's not so much that he underperformed, but you just see in playoff games and big moments against I don't want to say the Bears, but obviously with the playoff game against them, the second matchup, like you saw moments where he just starts jogging. Like Caleb Williams scrambles, he's ahead of him, he jogs, but then you see Kobe Wooden, big boy, running past him trying to make the tackle. And it's just like, dude, I think it's just with the lack of effort. That's where you're kind of like, we're paying you this much money. Maybe they could forgive the second half performance with Micah being gone if they saw some of that just relentless effort, but it just wasn't there. I don't know. LaFleur made some comments about some people were out of shape, and it seems like Gary might have been who he was talking about because it just that burst, explosiveness, effort, just not there. So I think logically the answer would be no, but we've seen the Packers be very loyal to players. And maybe there's a chance where they tell Rashawn, like, look, if we release you, you're only going to get like 12 million, 10 million maybe. Let's just restructure your contract. We'll give you whatever it's restructure it, add a couple void years at the end, whatever you have to do. But to say like you have a chance to prove it to us, play with Van Ness again, play with Micah Parsons, see if you can sustain a full season of productivity and we'll roll. But if I had to guess, I'd say saving that money is probably what Goody's looking at right now.
So can they push some of that money down the road and like is that realistic? Because sometimes you can, sometimes it's not worth it. You know what I mean? It's not good business. So do you think that's a situation where they could do that?
I think for them right now, they'll bite the bullet. Like they'll in the long run save salary cap, and I think the dead money. I think it at least like 15 million they'll save moving on. Maybe like 10, 15 they'll save by moving on from Gary towards the salary cap. But right now, I feel like if you're making,
man, that's a lot. You know what I mean?
if you
That's
make
hard
some of
to
these
kinda turn
moves,
down.
yeah, you're looking at you bite the bullet this offseason and then you make a big splash for 2027. I think Justice Mosqueda, I've mentioned him already, but he's another one that's mentioned, like said, the Packers got to pick. Are they going to go all in this year? Or are they going to make those moves where they bite some cap this offseason, some of the dead cap, and then really push for it in 2027, which might make more sense when you have a full offseason of a healthy Micah Parsons, a full offseason of a healthy Tucker Kraft, Devontae Wyatt, if he's still on the team. Not saying the Packers aren't contenders next season. They absolutely are. You have Jordan Love, Parsons, Tucker. You're a contender. But the salary cap's going to be a little bit trickier this offseason.
Yeah, the salary cap's the thing. So what's up with Wyatt? Like, I don't know his contract situation, but I feel like he was a very important dude. Obviously, when he went down, I think that was like him, Tucker Kraft, and Micah Parsons. Obviously, those are the three key pieces that like kind of were missing. So what's his deal? Because I saw someone talking about him on Facebook, but Facebook is kind of sketchy.
Oh yeah, we 100%. The Packers picked Facebook. I actually deleted or deactivated my Facebook. I'm not sure why.
You should probably say activated so you can like my posts.
That's true. I'll do it every Sunday. I'll reactivate like your post from the week and then deactivate again. With Wyatt, they did pick up his 5th-year option last year, so he's under contract for this year. For him, it's going to have to be proving that his leg is healthy, like proving he can come back from it, because it's not just a break. He also had the ligament damage, so it's how much is that going to linger this year? Is that going to bring down his value a little bit? What are they going to do with that? But we for sure have him for one more season. The break isn't that much of a concern for me. It's just how his ankle is going to bounce back from the ligament damage there, to see if it's going to be a long-term option. But that interior of the defensive line is definitely a question mark. I think for next year, they could bring another piece to kind of solidify that group, but future-wise, they're going to have to invest heavily, whether it's in the draft this year or next year, because you have Wooden, Carl Brooks, who they're good pieces. Wooden especially, like he stepped up big this year. Carl Brooks, his best season so far was his rookie year. He's kind of went down a little bit, not saying he's bad, but it hasn't lived up to the hype from there. And then Wyatt's your other guy, and we saw them pick up multiple defensive tackles towards the end of the season and getting released. One tore his Achilles. They had Nazir Stackhouse, an undrafted free agent, playing meaningful snaps, just not really something that you want to happen in big moments. So Wyatt, one more year, see if he can stay healthy. Hasn't been his MO, but it could mean a cheap long-term contract, I guess.
Yeah, he's good. I
Yeah.
obviously, when he's there. This is a good question right here by Rick. I don't know which Rick this is. I get confused. We got a couple Ricks in here. Rick 1, 2. I don't know if we have 3 of them, but we got Rick. This is my favorite one right now because he's on the comment section. But he says, "Hey Matt, ask Jimmy who Green Bay should go after to back up Love." So who should be the backup quarterback? A lot of people are talking about this. Obviously, Malik Willis is going to be gone.
Yeah.
Who do you think should be the backup or like who do you think is possible to be the backup quarterback?
I am big on scrambling quarterbacks. I think your backup being a scrambler, adding a new dynamic in the game, like we saw with Malik Willis. Anytime you went in, it provides a whole new scheme that the defense did not prep for, did not prepare for. Yeah, and they mentioned the Packers were in on maybe the Jimmy Garoppolo noise. I'm good. No thanks. Don't want that. They mentioned Anthony Richardson as a possibility as a trade candidate. I think the Colts will want a little too much for him. Names like Trey Lance have been thrown around, but if you look, the Jets officially released Justin Fields.
Hey, dude, we had a comment on Facebook about that.
Yeah, so I mean, someone he'll come in knowing he's going to be the backup. You saw Malik Willis revitalize his career after the Titans gave up on him. Someone who does have throwing ability and he can, dude is a scrambler. Like, why not come to Green Bay, take a cheap 2-year contract, learn from LaFleur, sit behind Love. Just your sole focus is just getting better. You're getting paid millions of dollars to get better and then try again in a couple of years. He's still young. It makes all the sense.
And I think Justin Fields is like, I'm not saying he's like a game changer. He's like whatever. But like, I feel like he's good enough that like he gets in a good coaching situation. Like, look at Malik Willis. Like, and obviously like, he's got to prove like when he goes to the next step that he can like do it. But like, it's all about coaching. It's all about situations. Justin Fields gets in the right spot, and I feel like he has the same kind of skill sets as Malik Willis, similarly.
Yeah.
So like, if he's needed, hopefully he's not. But it could be a good spot, a good stepping stone for him. Because like you start off with the Bears, bro.
That's what I was just about to say that. He's never been on a good structured offensive team.
Dude, just like not a good run team.
No, it's just all it is was the Bears. Just we know how they were. Hot trash and this last year, congrats, you did well. I won't take that from you. Justin Fields' time, not great. And then he goes to the Steelers, who again, it's just a team that Mike Tomlin is somehow going to will that team to 9-8 every season. And then he goes to the Jets.
A time when they switched from Fields to Wilson before the Rodgers time, and a lot of Steelers fans were saying that shouldn't have happened. So I forgot the record, but they were doing all right before. When Fields was in there. So I think Justin Fields is functional, especially for a backup. If you can get it for a backup, I think it'd be good, and I think it'd be beneficial for him as well. So this is a good question right here from James. He said, "Who can chug a beer faster? Who do you think, me or you, could chug a beer faster?"
Oh, I think I'd probably say you. I've been on a little bit of a break the last.
I'm not a big chugger though.
Oh, then I whoop you. I got you then. I can dust off the old boots and get that done.
All right, no, I was just being nice. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You switched so quick, didn't you?
Next
you there.
I was trying to be nice, and then I saw you do the nice route. I was like, one of us has to be cocky.
All right, so one of us is going to get cocky. No, but I'm not a huge chugger, but I get it done. You know what I mean? I'm more of like a marathon sprinter. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
You're a marathon sprinter. You're just beer after beer.
When it goes to drinking, you know what I mean? I'll go all night. It doesn't work for everything, but you know what I mean? For drinking, it does.
Dude, my problem is I drink. This sounds weird because I said I'm not the best chugger of it. I drink fast, so like I'll finish the beer within a couple minutes. So just anytime I just drink fast, but actually chugging it, I have not been ideal. We'll try it.
Shout out to Christy over here. These nuts.
All right, Christy. Your comment. Yeah. Facebook comments. You gotta love it.
We're doing a social over here. All right, so Here's a good question right here. Get back to the football world. Do you think
Mhm.
Dodds will be back? Here's a good question because like when the offseason first started, I was like, Romeo Dobbs is coming back. Like I like Romeo Dobbs. I think he's a good
Yeah.
wide receiver. But then like all the smart people are like, he ain't coming back. And I was like, all right, maybe he's not coming back. And then it kind of makes sense because they got Matthew Golden. They're trying to do the other things. And I think Dobbs is gonna, kind of I think money's gonna get thrown at him a little bit, not like to an extreme amount, but they're probably maybe just out the price rank of what the Packers want to do. So, what are your thoughts, Romeo Dobbs?
I would love to have Dobbs back. He's been pretty consistent for the Packers. It's just theoretically the wide receiver room is the deepest position or the deepest room that they have on the team. It's just the problem, especially last year, is you needed every person in that depth because you had Watson miss some time coming back from the ACL. Reed missed a huge chunk of the year. Wicks missed a couple games. Golden missed a couple games. Savion Williams missed a couple games. You got to the point where you're bringing back Bo Melton that you moved to the defensive side of the ball. So it's going to hurt. You want Dobbs back for that room because he does bring something, just that consistent level of play. But money wise, dude, like he definitely priced himself out of Green Bay, which is kudos to him. But he's realistically could get 15, 16 million a year, and the Packers just cannot swing that. The only way I could see it is if that means like maybe Jaden Reed gets traded this year and they don't have any plans to sign him long term. So they ship off Jaden Reed, they lock down Dobbs long term. But if Dobbs is back, that means someone else on that team is going to be gone. There's no way they're going to run it back, that same wide receiving core. Because to your point, too, you also have Matthew Golden, who by all means is underutilized.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to let him try to flourish, and Dobbs is going to get paid somewhere, dude.
So do you
Probably
think
the Chargers?
So you think Dobbs is out? You think Jaden Reed is going to be a Green Bay Packer next season? Then is that what you're saying?
I think if Dobbs comes back and they sign Dobbs, then I assume one of the other receivers is going to get traded for some kind of.
You think
capital.
It's one or the other?
Yeah, and I think most likely is going to be just Dobbs leaves in free agency.
So,
you keep Reed. Who knows if they re-sign him after this season?
So where do you see the wide receiver group going into this season? I mean, out of the guys we got right now, maybe they make some changes, but like out of the guys they had last year, who do you think is part of the team this season? Well, these are good questions. I feel like I'm a professional podcaster over here.
I think they run it back, everyone but Dobbs, and then we'll. Goody loves draft picks. Is there a world Dontavian Wicks? There's a team that reaches out and says we'll give you a pick for him in this year's draft. Maybe the Packers see a veteran they can sign cheap to replace him. Like Wicks has his moments, but he also disappears sometimes, or he gets hurt and misses sometimes. So it could be a move. Maybe they try to get some draft capital there. But I think the most realistic way is going to be the room's the same minus Dobbs, and then I could see them bringing in a draft pick for it, maybe like a late round draft pick, just as some more competition in a body.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like draft picks are kind of limited, so they might need to create a couple.
Yeah.
And, so we got a question here from Dean. I'm not a big college guy, so I don't know this fellow too good. But he said, should Packers target Jennings Dunker from Iowa in the draft? Dude would fit in well. So are you familiar with this? And is this realistic? Because sometimes people throw out names. I mean, I'm not a college dude.
I'm not a college dude at all. But the only reason I know this man is because of his orange mullet. Like he has the most beautiful mullet. He's from Iowa. He is a typical Pack dude. Pristine mullet. Look it up. It is nice.
It's a good mullet. You know what I mean?
If you look at him, you're gonna say like, "Oh, he should be on the Green Bay Packers."
Yeah, him and Tucker Kraft would just be camping together.
They would be ripping heaters, drinking Busch Light together outside of Lambeau. I mean, he could be a fit. I'm like you. I'm not much of a college guy. I always tell people my brain is not big enough to follow multiple sports. I picked the NFL. I dabble in the UFC to watch that. My brain can't take any more.
Yeah, I had either. And I want to get to this comment over here because Iowa Joe's talking about Will Levi. And I saw someone talking about, it was like a Titans fan. And he was like, yo, Malik Willis is going to get all this money. There's a reason why the Titans got rid of him. The reason is they don't know how to run a football team. Will Levi is one of the worst quarterbacks since, I don't even know his first name, but that Toon, whatever his name was, Toon.
Clayton
The
Tune.
Packers threw in there at quarterback. Just gave him a shot out of a career, but he was like, no thanks. But that's like, but like Will Levi is not a good quarterback. Jimmy.
He's not good.
Dude, the Titans aren't good at like running a football team. I don't know what they're doing over there, but like Malik Willis, I felt like he was like, you ever watch that movie Annie? You know what I mean? You ever watch that movie Annie? She's like in an orphanage.
Yeah.
And she goes off to a rich family. That's how I feel like Malik Willis felt when he got traded to the Packers. Like he was Annie. He's like, it's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life for us. And he's like walking into Lambeau. Now he's going to have a career. He's going to get $30 million a year. Just getting away from the Tennessee Titans. Horrible football program. You know what I mean? They don't know what they're doing over there. I don't have no beef with the Titans. You know what I mean? There's no rivalry there. It's just every year you watch them. They suck. They had what's his face, the Patriots coach, right?
Yeah.
They had him. They're like, we don't want that. Get out of here. They fired him, I think.
Yeah.
And he went to New England, and now, you know what I mean?
Took him 1 year to go to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and then that's what happened. That's what happens when you're the Tennessee Titans. You shouldn't have a football team. Tennessee should not have a football team. You know what I mean?
Where would you send him to? Pick another city. Give him Tennessee's team.
Chicago. They're about to lose one, you know what I mean? Let someone move in. You know what I mean? Send him to Chicago.
That was a good. I appreciate that one. Yeah.
But yeah, so we what did we talk about? We talked about so let's talk about the offensive line a little bit because I don't know anything about the offensive line. Everyone's talking about the offensive line. Elton Jenkins, what's going on in the offensive line? I don't expect you to know all this, but I know you talk to smart people on podcasts.
Yeah.
Regurgitate what they said. I'm just kidding.
I can do that.
What do you think about the Packers offensive line? It's a situation because I mean, we'll get into this after, but the offensive line, I feel like in the secondary is like the key spots where like they have to get better, special teams, obviously. But so what do you think about the offensive line? What do you think? Who's going to be there? Is, you know what I mean? All the people everyone's talking about, let us know, Vinny or Jimmy.
Right now,
shout out to Vinny, though, the producer of the show.
Shout out Vinny. I'd say right now the only people you can fully count on for the starting lineup is going to be Jordan Morgan at left tackle. Then you have Anthony Belton, who you can slot him in right now at right guard, the starter. Not guaranteed he'll be the starter. I'm going to assume there's going to be some competition there because he came in. I felt bad for him, someone that they kept putting at tackle. Then they finally switched him to guard after Jordan Morgan just couldn't do it. And we're like, hey, we know we had you at tackle most of the offseason and during the regular season, but do guard now. And then you have Zach Tom. Zach, who's coming off patellar injury, which does not have the best track record of returning to full form. His wasn't a complete tear, so he should be fine, but it's a big injury, especially for a big body right tackle that you need, who is your best offensive lineman. You look at Elton Jenkins, most likely going to be released, saves you a lot of money. I'm very confident that he's going to be released just because money-wise it doesn't make sense. His play has gone down. Sean Ryan, his backup, is a free agent, and then Aaron Banks at left guard. Terrible contract given out last year. Just the amount of money he got for the play that you got in return. Terrible to begin with in the season. He was battling through injuries, played better in the second half, but he's another one where people don't really know. He's like a true 50-50. He could be cut, and then you have a complete open position at left guard, or you could keep him, bite the bullet on the contract, try to bring in some competition. But right now, you can really only bank on three starters on that offensive line, and one of them you're gonna expect to have some competition at right guard. So it's definitely, dude, it's not looking great for that offensive line right now. We definitely need some help. It's a lot of question marks.
All right, so basically, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. He doesn't know anything, everyone. You know what I mean? I asked. You know what I mean? I thought he knew some stuff. No, I'm just kidding. So
I
yeah,
think Sean Ryan's back. If I had to guess, I think they bring Sean Ryan back on a cheap contract, and then there is a world where we just roll out the same offensive line as last year, except you replace Rasheed Walker with Jordan Morgan, which should at least be an even trade off. Jordan Morgan has more ceiling. Aaron Banks, you hope he stays healthy, and when he was healthy, he played okay. There's improvement there, and then you also have to think naturally Belton should take a step forward, but the one big thing is just cohesion. It's not going to be a completely healthy season, but this offensive line was banged up and rotated every single week.
They move around. They're like one of those fellas like in the movies when they got the cups and they got to move them around real fast.
Yeah, you had to guess
which one's this cup. That's a left tackle. So, all right. So moving off the offensive line not looking good. We'll get back to that later on in the offseason. Hopefully it gets better. But
we'll do some moves.
Aaron Jones said to begin. A lot of people are commenting on this, and I think the producer was trying to tell me about it. But Aaron Jones getting released from the Minnesota Vikings. Do you see a world? We were all excited back in the day when Aaron Jones was still a Green Bay Packer, and they were signing Josh Jacobs. Like, oh, we have the best backfield of all time for about 46 minutes. You know what I mean? Then they're like, no, we're not. Do you see a world where maybe Aaron Jones finds his way back to the Green Bay Packers? I know Packer fans like to bring back former players. Jordy Nelson's on a tractor over here catching gray hairs, had his grandson on his knee, and they're like, bring him back. You know what I mean? Dude. But you see a world where Aaron Jones find his way back in a Packers uniform?
That's a tough one. I selfishly want him to, because who doesn't love Aaron Jones?
Yeah,
I've said this on other shows.
Aaron Jones, you know what I mean?
Aaron Jones is one of the only players who can go to a rival Minnesota Vikings and fans still love him.
Yeah, I mean,
even no one else can do that. Yeah, people hated Brett Favre for it. Yeah, Aaron Jones, everyone's like, all right.
Yeah, he went to Minnesota, like, you know what, the hell with that guy. You know what I mean? I'm not so fond of tractors after all.
Hell yeah,
cutting the grass doesn't mean so much.
I mean, bringing him back it makes some sense. It provides a different change of pace to what Josh Jacobs is as a running back. Marshawn Lloyd, my man, I feel bad for him. I feel terrible for Marshawn Lloyd. He cannot catch a break and he cannot stay healthy. So if you bring in another running back like Aaron Jones who can take some of the workload, and then hopefully Lloyd can play this year. We only got like 2 snaps out of him 2 years ago. If you run with that backfield of you got Jacobs, you got Aaron Jones as a backup, you got Marshawn Lloyd of like, let's see if he can stay healthy and play. That's honestly a pretty good running back room, dude. Like you can't complain. But then it all comes down to, does Aaron Jones have any bad blood against the Packers organization? Not the players, but the execs.
People will cut his ass.
Yeah, exactly. And then does he want to take less money now, or is he looking at like, look, this is my last chance to kind of cash in? But
do you think another team would kind of go after him? Do you think that he could be that number 1 guy somewhere?
No, he would have to go somewhere where he's splitting carries.
Yeah,
I could see a team. The Chiefs need any running back. At this point, they might call us and ask us.
They call me. My knee hurts. My knee hurts. I was at work and I told someone at work, I said, my knee hurts. And I said, what happened? He said, what do you mean? Like, you do something? You're moving something? I was like, nah, I just woke up and it hurt like that.
Yeah.
That's just how it is now. I think
that's just how it is.
Like 3 days ago.
You could get a couple snaps in there.
Ask me. I couldn't run. I think I went to get the mail. I twisted my knee. I was like, oh, all right. Everything I do. I told my wife, I was like, this knee is a problem. And she said, what you going to do about it? I was like, I'm just going to bitch about it for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not actually anything productive.
I'm not going to go to the doctor or whatever. You know what I mean?
No, you're not a chump, dude. Doctors are for wimps.
Doctors are for, you know what I mean? People who like,
yeah, we want to be healthy.
Time. What do you think? My heart's gonna like, fail before this knee gives out? I have more confidence in the knee. I ain't gonna lie to
you. Don't. Yeah.
I never thought I was gonna die because my knee felt weird. But anyways, let's keep moving over here.
But anyways, I want Aaron Jones. Maybe Aaron Jones will come back, but I'm not ruling it out.
Do you think that it's affordable? Like, do you think it's realistic that he would you know what I mean? Because obviously it all depends on what other teams are coming after him and what their situations are.
He's
And it
coming off a
depends how
rough
he
year,
feels
dude.
about the Packers like management team, like how they
Yeah,
handled that situation.
yeah,
I think he loves Green Bay. Obviously, loves the fans.
yeah,
He talks about it all the time. So I think that maybe there's a situation, but you never know going on behind closed doors. And it all depends on the better situation because obviously at this point in his career, it's gonna be about money because it's
yeah,
like his last little piece of check that he's gonna get out of the NFL. And if someone else is gonna give him better opportunity, like hey, this kind of running back, whatever team might
yeah,
have an opportunity for. Running back's kind of sketchy and he gets hurt a lot. All right, maybe I'll back up that guy instead. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
now I got a chance. I think Josh Jacobs is a dude. I love me some Josh Jacobs, but yeah, Aaron Jones. If they could be in the backfield together for one season,
If you look at it, like
Emmanuel
it
Wilson's
is a
gone.
good
You know what I
spot
mean?
for him. Like yeah, Wilson's gone, Chris Brooks is gone. Like it gives him a spot where he doesn't have to be that number one guy, keep his body healthy, really make the most of every time he goes on the field, and he provides a passing threat. He has familiarity
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah. He can
Love.
get, dude. He can play receiver. I've always said. So I want to get to a few Facebook comments over here. I asked
Let's do
Facebook
it.
folks. You know what I mean? So I didn't mean to cut you off there. Actually, I did. I
Oh,
was like, that's enough of Jimmy talking. I mean, he was saying all that dumb shit. But let me scroll down over here. I asked some. We got some good. All right, so we got the Green Bay guy over here. My buddy Ben. He asked. This is not a football related question. What is a show that is incredibly popular, but you can't stand or don't understand the hype? So, what is one of those epic TV shows like Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad,
I love those too.
Lost? What are one of those shows for you, Jimmy, that's so popular, but you're like, you know what I mean? I'm not watching that thing. I
Yeah.
don't like it.
Oh, that is a good question.
That's a good question. The Green Bay guy, you know what I mean? He's a good question.
I think I heard a lot of really good things about Mad Men.
Yeah, that's a good
But
show.
I just never really got into. I think I tried to watch it once. Didn't get very far.
It's a great
Yeah, I don't.
show. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched Mad Men. I loved it, all of it. But my wife, we were watching together. She went ahead of me because she has no soul. She went
So
ahead of me, and then I started watching it again, and then this lady had a baby, and I'm like, when did she get pregnant? She's like, last season. I'm like, yo, I'm lost. So I just stopped watching that thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a
it
great
could.
show though.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
But
I did say
my
that one.
show would be the show that's super hyped that I just couldn't get into is The Walking Dead. And I tried.
See,
Man.
I
I'm
like
not.
that.
You know what's funny? I told my wife this. I just can't get into this show. And I want to because I love it. I think it feels like it. I see the clips. I love the clips. I'm like, I wanna get into the show. So I tell my wife, I want to get in the show. She's like, watch the show. So I turn it on. She's like, bro, you're on season 3. You can't tell me you're not into the show. You're on season 3. I was like, but I still don't know what's going
I
on.
think she's got a point though, dude. If you made it to season 3, I think you got into the show.
But I'm like, I don't know what's going on. She's like, what's happening here? I'm like, the zombies are trying to kill him.
See, you
She's
do
like, I
know
already
what's
knew
going
that.
on. That's the premise of the whole show. You
I
just
don't
said
know
the
what's
whole.
going on. I don't know the relationships. I know like a kid gets, they're crying a lot. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
don't know.
true.
But I think that's the show because I want to get into it. I've
Yeah.
watched 3 seasons of this thing. I'm still not locked in. I think, what do you think the best show of all time is? Like Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, drama, that type of genre. Not like Seinfeld, not sitcoms,
Yeah.
but just like that type of like, drama. Like, what's the best one, dude? Let me know.
It's hard to beat Breaking Bad in my book. Breaking Bad was so good.
It is, and I won't argue with that.
And Game of Thrones was good. I know people are pissy pants about the ending. It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't care about the ending. You know what I mean?
I also
Sometimes
loved.
the ending isn't all that's worked up to be. You know what I mean? Ask my wife; she'll tell you. But like, what I will say, my top 3 favorite shows, the top 3 best dramas, not sitcoms. We're not talking Seinfeld. We're not talking, Family Guy, whatever. We're talking about like those type of drama, like Breaking Bad type of shows. Here's my top 3 in no particular order: Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, and Lost. Those are my top 3, dude. Do you have a top 3?
Game of Thrones is really good. Breaking Bad's up there. Honestly, man, and this is another one that started off real good and kind of faded. I was a huge Sons of Anarchy fan.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. I was big on Sons of Anarchy. It's a great show.
Hell yeah.
I just can't put it in that chop. You know what I mean? Dude.
Yeah.
when he rode off into the sunset right into that bumper of that semi.
Hell yeah, dude, that was
It
such a
put a
good
tear
show.
to my eye. You know what I mean? No, but
Opie.
that Sons of Anarchy is a good show. It's got like a lot of good stuff.
Oh, but Rick made a comment, and he's probably gonna
I'm
bash me for
sure
this, but
I
on my two to watch, my two shows I need to watch this summer is my plan to start at least one of them: Sopranos and The Wire. I haven't watched either, but I've heard they're both
yeah.
top notch.
Sopranos. It's tough for me to leave out of that top 3
Yeah,
because like the Sopranos is like I got it right here in the background.
yeah.
So like the Sopranos to me, and if I'm being realistic, it probably gets the edge over Breaking Bad for me.
Ah,
I think it's like one or the other. I'm still
yeah,
gonna keep Game of Thrones and Lost in there because I base Game of Thrones and Lost on how many times I've watched them. Because how good a show is, how many times can you watch it? Like I've watched Lost so many times I can't watch it no more because
yeah,
I know what's going to happen at every single moment. I've watched so
yeah.
many times. But Sopranos and Game of Thrones, or Sopranos and Breaking Bad, I feel like are very close. But Sopranos is, it's like the first. I feel like that's like made Breaking Bad a thing, and even actually they said that people on Breaking Bad. Anyways, so yeah, that's my list. I don't think I can do 3. Let's do top 4, anyways.
I'm big on it's not this level of dramas. It's definitely more of a comedy in there, but Shrinking on Apple TV. Dude, that is my show right now. I love
What's that
show.
about?
Dude's a therapist, but his life's a hot mess.
I thought maybe he just got out of cold water.
He's got yeah. He took an ice plunge and then he came out and no, it's good though. I would recommend it to anyone.
Dude, how about like this off season? What we should do? You never watched Sopranos.
No. Yeah.
You know what we should do? We should do a watch party. Watch the Sopranos together. Like we tell people, like, hey, at this time we're gonna turn on Netflix. We're gonna watch. At this time we're gonna hit play. We do a watch party throughout the Sopranos, or we just watch together. We record it and then we clip it and then we post it.
I'm in, dude. Any excuse to watch it.
You know what I mean? The Shield. That's not me, but that's a producer probably write that in there. I never watched The Shield. Never really got into it, but that's Vinny.
It's good. Rescue Me was another one I liked. I
Rescue
put it in
Me
my top
was
5, but
good.
yeah.
Rescue Me. I love that dude. What's his name? He's the guy that was always on cocaine back in the day.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that you can recognize, but I don't know his name.
I don't know his name. He does a lot of stuff for firefighters in New York. Very good actor. And when I watched that, like I wanted to be him. But I was like, I'm not that ambitious to be that reckless with my life. You know what I mean? Like he was very reckless with his life. He was doing all types of stuff. And I was like, I don't have that type of time. You know what I mean?
Vinny dropping in The Boys. That's another one. That's high on my list.
I'm getting behind in the comments over here. The Boys. I don't think I've watched that one.
Dude, it's good. It is
really good. Shrinking is amazing. Great cast, says Phil. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I never watched it. I might check it out. You know what I mean? I just watched the 7th. It's like the Game of Thrones. I watched the Dragon one. You know what I mean? And then they got the 7
Kingdom or something like that.
7 Kingdoms or whatever the hell it is. That's also a good one. Very, very good show. I love Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is so well done, dude. My wife's like, the book's better. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'll never know. I'm not going to read a book about a TV show. People say after you watch the TV show, you should read the book. I'm not going to do that. I feel like it's my teacher coming back to trick me. If you like the show, you'll love the book. I'm not. I can't. I don't read.
Dude, you got to read Harry Potter.
If I'm on Twitter and it says see more, I just assume your name is Seymour and you're an idiot. I'm not reading that. I'm not clicking it. I don't read a lot. My eyes get weird too, like reading books. I have to have like, people have bookmarks on the bottom. I have to bookmark on the top and the bottom because all the words mushed together for me. People like, it's a great book. The movie comes out next year. Like, hey, I look forward to it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to read the book. I'm not going to read someone write an article about what they thought about the book. I'm not going to read any of that. I'll just wait for the movie. I trust Steven Spielberg. He's got it under control. You know what I mean? Tarantino, whoever's on the case, I trust them. You know what I mean?
I respect the dedication. And at this point, why change?
You know what I mean? We all know Ravage Gamer. I can read. I choose not to. And the words get smushed up when you're trying. My wife reads books that you could kill a man with.
Yeah.
And then she'll get done with the book, and then she'll tell me it was a horrible book. And I'll tell her, like, hey, well, how was the book? Try to pretend like I care, you know what I mean? And she'll
Yeah.
be like, that book was stupid. I'm like, how many pages was that book? Because I've been watching this, you know? She's like, whatever, 600 pages, 300 pages. I'm like, then how far in did you know it was shit? She's like,
Yeah.
pretty quick, but like I had to figure it out. I had to stay with it. I'm like, I won't stay with a movie that sucks, dude. She stayed with the book. She read like 1,400 words after she knew it sucked. You know what I mean? And then she'll tell me about it, which is fine because I'm like, I didn't have to read it. You know what I mean? I got the recap. She'll tell me, this lady, she should have done this. I'm like, what page was that? 36? Like, you knew. You know what I mean? Anyways, you ever watch a show and it sucks in season 1? You know what you don't do? You don't watch season 2.
That's fair. That's
You
fair.
know what I mean?
Yeah. But you watched a full season. It's kind of like reading a full book.
Yeah. I'm on season 3 of The Walking Dead, and I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, I was gonna say you just said
And I want to love it. And then they have like break off people, shows.
Yeah.
And I tried to watch that because I saw a clip of this guy saying a really funny thing.
Yeah.
And I watched 2 episodes, and that guy didn't say nothing funny. And I was like, I don't know. And just like watching people get eaten by their face, I don't need that in my life. I'm trying to eat eggs. You know what I mean? I'm trying to enjoy my life out here at my coffee table, just eating. And next thing you know, someone's getting their face eaten off. I don't need that. You know what I mean? But yeah. So I think The Walking Dead is my answer. What was the question?
It started with top your favorite. Or
the Empire. The Boardwalk Empire. That's another one.
Yeah.
Which I think is very good show. It's very well brought together. Great actors. Great people. And I get lost on it. I think my attention span getting smaller though. From social media.
Yeah.
That's a great
beer.
show. But yeah, Sopranos, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, and Lost, top 4. That's your Mount Rushmore right there, baby. That's your Mount Rushmore. Anyways, Jimmy, we're gonna wrap this thing up. So, what do you got coming up next? So, what are you doing over here in the world? You're over here on Pack a Day Podcast. You got Lombardi's Bar. Is there any break for Lombardi's Bar? I know Pack a Day Podcast doesn't take a break. They don't even take a weekend off, baby.
Yeah, not even a weekend, dude. They're crazy. We'll take a break from Lombardi's Bar. We might come back for maybe some bigger things after free agency if we do some signings after the draft. But then we'll probably take a break until training camp, just kind of rejuvenate, hang out especially for me, hang out with the wife and kids, enjoy the off season before I ditch them too much. But I did want to respond to
what do you got?
Kev, I don't even know how to say Kev something. Kev Meons. Kev Moans.
Kevin Moans. That's my guy, Kevin.
Kevin, what up, Kevin? Both. I've read the books. I'm actually just finishing. We have like 50 pages.
You're talking about Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Podcast. So
read
the freaking question.
My bad, dog.
Don't leave the podcast,
Jimmy,
people lingering.
Do you read the Harry Potter books or just the movies? Both. I'm actually finishing the 7th one probably tomorrow. 50 pages left. My kids are pumped. And it was fun for me because I knew everything that was happening and I could call them. I was getting ready for when they saw the deaths and all of that and see if they would cry. Ended up just being me. They're way tougher than I am, but you got to shed a few tears for some of those characters, man.
Yeah, I never really got into the Harry Potter stuff. My wife told me I watched it.
We all have our faults.
But I think I was hammered that day. I don't know. But I got to check it out.
I'm telling you.
The
books are so good. The movies they're coming out with this. Just wait. Next year they're coming out with the series.
Dude, I get so behind because even Jurassic Park, you got Harry Potter, you got Jurassic Park, even Game of Thrones now. If you're new to Game of Thrones, where do I start? Even Breaking Bad, people don't know where to start. Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul. So I go to Jurassic Park. I remember back in the day, I was like, I want to, a couple years ago, I was like, I want to watch Jurassic Park. What's the first one? So I'm Googling Jurassic Park, and there's 14 of these bitches. So I'm trying to find the earliest year, and I'm going to ask my wife, and she's like, I don't care. I never watch that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's so hard because no one has original idea anymore. They get one original idea, this show is good. Let's make 14 of them. Every character needs their own series. And Game of Thrones so far has been doing a good job. Has Harry Potter? Is every Harry Potter great?
The movies are okay. The movies are good. It's just after you read the books, you're like, dude, they left out so much.
Yeah,
Some little twists
that's
and
what I
turns
like.
and all that.
I like to watch the videos about Game of Thrones. They're like, in the book, this happened. You know what I mean? And that's how
Yeah.
I like to read a book is watching a video of someone telling me what the book was. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't need to read it.
All right. All
I'll
right.
watch a video of you tell me because you read it, right? You read it. You
So,
tell me.
so another off-season show is just me reading Harry Potter to you.
Yeah. Not even reading it to me, just summarizing.
Summarizing, I'll give you the cliff notes.
It
All
took
right.
you 3 hours to read it. Summarize it to me in 7 minutes. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Yeah, Scream 7 is coming out. And I think it's funny because Marlon Wayans came out and he's like, we don't care if it offends you. Like, I haven't watched Scream since like the second one, dude. Like, I'm sure it's good and it's fun. And I'll probably check it out maybe if it comes on Netflix or whatever. But like, if you have 7 of something, you know, I mean, it's got to be pretty good. And I don't think it is.
Scary Movie 6.
Yeah,
that comes out, yeah.
You know, scary movie like 7 or whatever. And the thing about scary movie that I do think is cool is it is like making fun of a movie that's making fun of scary movies. Because Scream, right, which is scary movie makes fun of Scream, but Scream is making fun of scary movies to begin with.
Is it?
Right? Yeah. Yeah, Scream makes fun of scary movies.
I thought Scream was just a killer.
You don't watch scary movies because you're a pansy. You get scared.
That is true, dude.
You go to your wife and you're like,
I
hey,
am a wimp, dude.
Hey, Des, I'm scared.
Can we sleep with the lights on
in your room? No, but I probably won't watch Scary Movie 7. I didn't watch the last 5, so you know what I mean? Yeah, Scary Movie 6 is coming out. You know what I mean? Hope it does well. You know what I mean? I'm just not really into them. I think if you have like 6 of the same thing, unless it's like The Godfather, and even 3 of those things were like, yeah, we got it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I don't know. Anyways, we're going to wrap this thing up. Everyone check out Jimmy Christensen over on Pack-A-Day Podcast. Pack-A-Day Podcast has a great podcast. They every single day of the week. That's why they call it Pack-A-Day. You know what I mean? They weren't real creative with the name, but it makes sense. You know what I mean? Andy Herman and the whole crew over there do a great job. If you want to know about some real Packers football and not just the gibberish that we're talking out here, check out Pack-A-Day Podcast. Also, Lombardi's Bar, they're on taking a break. Oh, some people call it a hangover. They call it a break. But they're going to be back over there doing their thing next season. So be sure to check out that. You know, Jimmy Christensen, one of the best in the game talking football. You know what I mean? You know, between me and him, he's best at it. We're going to wrap this thing up. Shout out to Jimmy over here. And tomorrow, Wednesday, March 4th, 2:10 p.m. Central Time, Spring Training Baseball Podcast live stream. Milwaukee Bucks, the Chicago Cubs. We're talking spring training, but we're going to be over there. I work till noon. I'm beginning that. We're going to be doing a little. What are you thinking about the Brewers season this year, huh, Jimmy? World Series?
World Series. Yep, I'm just going to say that. Yeah, World Series, dude.
Maybe one time this season I'm going to do a bunch of watch parties this season. Maybe you can jump on and do a watch party with me. We'll talk about some home runs and some dingers.
Deal. I know nothing about baseball, but I like watching it in the playoffs.
Yeah, me neither. That's what makes the baseball thing fun. But yeah, maybe we'll do that. All right, so we're gonna big shout out to the sponsor of the show, Quick Trip, Nicolay Law. Big shout out to Vinny, the producer. You know what I mean? Handling all the graphics, doing all the stuff, put all the stuff together, and even put the camera back and forth, making it watch a little bit better. He does a fantastic job. Thank you, Vinny, and thank you, Jimmy, for joining us, and thank you everyone for watching live, and everyone who listened on the audio podcast, Spotify, audio, all the places. If you're not listening on all the places, subscribe. You can go to themattramage.com, find all the links to all the places you can watch on Spotify, Apple, Roku TV, Fire TV. You got the app, Vinny or Jimmy? I keep calling you the wrong name.
Yes. In my office, I do. In my office.
Yeah, tell your wife, tell your grandma, tell everybody. Go to Roku TV. Anyways, we're gonna be out this thing. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us tonight, Jimmy. One of the greatest podcast people talking about the Packers in the land. You know what I mean?
No.
I say it to your face when you leave. I'm like, this guy sucks.
This guy sucks. Let's make sure we delete this one.
We're out of here. Shout out to Jimmy over here. You know what I mean? Pack-A-Day Podcast. We're out of here. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, people.
See ya.